come another time, another place, and we will meet again.
As you are now, we once were. As we are now, you may become.
Evil will always triumph, because good is dumb.
Never underestimate the power of the Schwartz.
You actually believe that, Daddy Dribble?
What if there's silent patrols nearby?
Do not tell me how to command.
Yeah, well, someone's better. This is no time for heroics, Kyle.
You think because you wear a uniform and you fly in a fighter, you should also be in command.
This is the IFB Thursday night broadcast.
That's gonna work great, man. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Excellent. Welcome to Season 6 of IFB Interfleet Broadcasting, our award-winning pop culture, sci-fi, news, and entertainment channel. I am New York Pete, your co-host, and my best buddy is Chris the Tipsy Toaster, co-founder here of IFB.
Hi.
And we bring our unique take from growing up watching and reading all the great 70s, 80s, and some 90s, TV, the movies, cartoons, comic books, and, we used to read novels and, of course, go to conventions. And we are big Battlestar Galactica fans. And there you go. Are you okay?
Get up. Alfalfa.
What are you doing?
Here.
What are you doing? Just put your helmet on. Put the Cylon helmet on. You'll be fine.
I think I got it.
Oh boy! All right.
What little
Please,
I have left, but
please, somebody, help his ego out, because Tipsy Toaster's having a moment. But we have a great show tonight, guys. We have a bunch of stuff going on.
Too
Tiny
much stuff.
Bean is here with us. Mr. Chris Feehan is here with us for a Star Wars update. We have shore leave reps coming in, so they'll be telling us the latest and greatest from shore leave, as well as Ref Hanson. So we've not to say we've ignored wrestling, right? Growing up in the 70s, 80s, of course, wrestling was a big part of everything we kind of used to watch and do and hear about. And I know I did. I know Tipsy did. I know most of you probably did. So we actually have a professional wrestling referee, Ref Hanson. Sean Wiggins is coming on, and we're going to talk wrestling. He's still active. He's still involved. He's going to tell us a lot about what he's up to, and we'll talk, we'll talk about the past as well, some of the history stuff. So, with that said, let's toast the fans because IFB is all about you guys. If it wasn't for you guys, we wouldn't. What do we have? It'd be just Tipsy and I talking. So,
Right, everybody?
Tipsy, you ready? I think so.
Everybody's
yeah.
here.
Let's go. Cool.
Anyways, thank you for joining us. It's so important that we recognize the fans, and I wanted to say that without the fans, there is no fandom. And we always toast to you because the fans fuel the fleet.
Fuel the fleet. Cheers. Excellent. All right. Well, you know what? We have both Tiny Bean and Chris ready to go, but ladies first, Mr. Feehan. Let's get Tiny Bean up and running. I've seen your presentation and it's excellent as usual. So
thank you.
Absolutely.
Yeah, if you yeah, we'll do a little
jazz hands, please. Jazz hands.
Little tap dance.
Jazz hands. Meanwhile, while I pull up
Pete,
the
brush up on
PowerPoint.
all that jazz because you're gonna have to do that with me at Shirley.
I love.
Yes, we
that's one
will.
of my favorite musicals.
Yes.
That literally is one of my favorite musicals.
Oh yeah,
Me
we're
too.
gonna have a
Very
good time at Shore Leave. Tiny Bean's gonna be there, and we have special autograph giveaways. Colonel Medea from the Stranded Warrior, that's Tiny Bean's character. We have great autograph freebies courtesy of the Stranded Warrior, and Tiny Bean will be there to sign those, give those away. She'll be at the table on the panel, of course, when we actually debut. So Tiny Bean, you are a bit a ways from the city, but you didn't, unfortunately, we did earn a screening at the film festival, the New York City Film Festival, just this past weekend. Unfortunately, there was a technical glitch, so it didn't go over too well. So anybody that gets a chance that wants to see it, you got to come down to Shore Leave if you want to see it on a bigger screen, because that's your only opportunity. And that's it. That's going to be like the world exclusive premiere at a convention is Shore Leave, and you're going to be there. There'll be some other supporting cast that are going to be there, but you are the star as far as our guests from the Stranded Warrior. So we're looking forward to having you. Looking forward to meeting the fans, right, Tiny Bean?
Oh, I can't wait. It's going to be so fabulous. Absolutely. And to be able to see it like on a big screen is going to be just mind-blowing.
Oh, it's going to be fun.
Do I still have? I do. I think I still have your uniform.
Yeah, you do. You have a uniform, of course. Yeah, you have it. But yeah, we did get nominated for Best Wardrobe. So that's a nice little nod for all the work that was put into it. So that was cool.
Those pieces were spot on, like fabulous. Really.
Yeah.
And as soon as you put them on, it was like, oh, I'm in it. I mean, there's no way to get around that. It's like, oh no.
Oh
no.
yeah. Yeah.
Right.
So
ready whenever you are.
well, okay. So Tiny Bean's ready. Go.
All right. Launch.
All right.
Engage. Make it so, number one.
Guys. Well, hello, IFB. Welcome. It's so good to see you guys here. As always, happy June, and welcome to Tiny Bean's Corner, where we discuss new, old, and otherwise interesting things for the fleet's potential viewing pleasure. It is summer blockbuster time in the corner, and every year I like to pick out a few of the standouts of the up-and-coming summer season for you guys. So I have 4 recommendations of surefire choices that fit that bill. So let's dive right in. Probably the most anticipated sci-fi offering in ages hits theaters tomorrow. Disclosure Day is Steven Spielberg's return to the genre after a number of years. And frankly, it's about time. Critics' reviews are pouring in and laying on the accolades. The word masterpiece is being used quite often. I'm hearing its familiar themes, but imagined in a fresh new way. The Close Encounters comparisons abound, of course, but many are saying it's closer in tone to Minority Report, but with the driving energy of War of the Worlds. Well, I, of course, am all in on this, and it is easily my number one pick for the summer blockbuster of 2026. Disclosure Day stars Emily Blunt, Colin Firth, and Josh O'Connor, and it will arrive at a theater near you tomorrow. So have some extra popcorn for me. Next up, doesn't really get more epic than Homer's The Odyssey. So I can only imagine what putting that story in the hands of one of our generation's greatest directors, Christopher Nolan, will give us. And I'm going all in that it's going to be spectacular. Odysseus, king of Ithaca, embarks on a perilous journey to return home after the Trojan War and encounters creatures like the Cyclops, sirens, and more. It's quite the whirlwind. And Nolan also lays on a cast of stars that is completely epic. Matt Damon in the lead, supported by Tom Holland, Zendaya, Elliot Page, Robert Pattinson, Charlize Theron, Anne Hathaway, John Bernthal, just to name a few. Check out the trailers if you haven't already. The visuals look incredible, as to be expected from Nolan. This is going to be really exciting, guys. So The Odyssey will hit theaters July 17th. Next up, for my third in-theaters pick, a more subdued tone of a film option that hopes to be epic in a different way. I'm recommending The Death of Robin Hood. Written and directed by Michael Sarnowski, we follow the story of an aging Robin Hood, played by Hugh Jackman, who gets seriously wounded on a battlefield, but he gets a chance at salvation from his violent past in the form of a mysterious woman and a young girl. Check out the trailers. It looks really stunning. Early buzz is strong and gaining momentum. The film also stars the always strong likes of Jodie Comer and Bill Skarsgård. I've got really high hopes for this one. The Death of Robin Hood hits the big screen June 19th. And now for a streaming recommendation for a surefire blockbuster. Get ready for the epic return of House of the Dragon Season 3. The dragons and all of the dysfunctional Targaryens are back in this monumental powerhouse of excitement. The showrunners are telling us, though, to prepare for a much darker and much more action-packed season, with huge bloodbath-filled battles reminiscent of Battle of the Bastards from Thrones. And if you know, you know, so wow. It's also being said that season 4, the next season, will be the final season. So they have a lot to get in place to close things out in these next 2 seasons. Really excited, guys. Great cast that includes Matt Smith, Emma Darcy, Ewan Mitchell, Emily Carey, and a slew of others. And as I always say, you had me at dragons. House of the Dragon Season 3 will hit June 21st. Last in the corner tonight, I wanted to follow up on the start of 2 of the shows we've pushed that have just started and to tell you all that, wow, you really need to see these. I'm talking about Interview with the Vampire Lestat, and Cape Fear. Starting with Lestat, the premiere episode was absolutely mind-blowing. And this is from a lifelong fan of the book. The changes they make to it are perfect. And how often can you say that, right? If you followed the first 2 seasons that were on the first book in the series, Interview with the Vampire, I felt the same way about the changes that they made there. And the Lestat changes keep in line with that. Sam Reed's Lestat is letter perfect, and almost the entire first episode is all him, and he carried it with ease. If this is the start, be ready for an intensely incredible ride. Lestat is on AMC. As for Cape Fear, the first 2 episodes dropped and they are really good. Slowly setting us up for the intensity that is to come, and loving that they will have a full 10 episodes to fill in all the blanks in the backstory. No surprise that Javier Bardem, Amy Adams, and Patrick Wilson are amazing, but also really liking the young actors playing the Bowden family kids, Joe Anders and Lily Colias. They're terrific. I expect more from them too. Can't wait for the next episode. That will actually hit tomorrow on Apple TV. So check it out with me, guys. We're in for a really good summer of some really, really fun stuff. And that is all for the corner tonight. So back to you, Pete.
Excellent. Always love your segment. You have a bunch of shout outs, and there's so the fandom, our family is spread out between Facebook and of course YouTube. So there's a bunch of our regulars on. Thank you for joining. When you get a chance, Tara, you might just go say hello to the Karens.
Yeah.
And
I can't follow along when I'm doing my segment, so I always wind up going back in later and being like, yeah, everybody.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. So what is the first film that you're going to see this summer?
Disclosure Day.
Really?
Opens tomorrow.
Wow. That's a
This
big
is,
recommendation.
I mean, when critics are saying that this is one of Spielberg's best films ever, that says a lot. I mean, think of the canon of Spielberg films.
Sure.
And I'm not even joking when I say like the word masterpiece is being thrown around a lot. So yeah, it's just getting absolutely intense, advanced praise, really, really great reviews so far. And you know me, I do a lot of research and I scour the interwebs and try to find stuff, and I honestly have yet to find a bad word.
Wow.
Not
well, you're going to
never
keep us,
happens.
you have to keep us posted. Did you see The Mandalorian?
Yes!
You did?
Yeah.
And your honest opinion?
I love it. But I kind of love almost anything Star Wars, which is why I love when Chris is on, because I can hear all the good stuff from him. So, yeah, it's an unfair bias to really kind of ask me that, especially with Grogu. I mean, come on, it's Grogu.
I saw it last week. I also enjoyed it immensely. We made it a family outing, and it was great. We had a good time with it. I totally enjoyed it. I don't know. It was great. It was great. Went to see Star Wars and Mandalorian, man. Come on, it was great.
It's like how can it be bad to be sitting in a theater watching the Star
Wars? It was fun. Totally fun. Had a great time with it. Well, Tiny Bean, thank you very much for your segment. We all follow pretty much as many, if not all, of your recommendations. And everybody enjoys it. Just you could see all the feedback. So thank you. We look forward to, Shore Leave is coming up real quick. So you guys that haven't gotten your tickets, we're going to be there. Tiny Bean is going to be there giving away free autographs. So please come down, and we're going to broadcast some interviews. We're going to do a little live broadcasting as well from Shore Leave, and posting pictures and stuff. We're going to have a really, really good time. Tiny Bean, thank you again. Look forward to seeing you hopefully before Shore Leave, because it's a month away. It's less than a month away.
Yes, I know. I can't believe it's a month away. I'm so excited.
It is nuts.
Awesome.
Here's to you,
right.
Tiny Bean. Thank you.
Thank you. Fans feel the fleet, guys. Enjoy.
Cheers. Well, we brought up, we mentioned Mr. Feehan, we mentioned Star Wars, we mentioned the man. He's got some
and
just
he still doesn't have any good news regarding Jar Jar. So
no, none.
Thank you for that. Thank you. So
Zero.
without further
come
ado,
on.
Oh, stop. Without further ado, Mr. Chris Feehan is here, and we are going to have a great update. Chris, how are you? How's the 501st? How's the Empire City Garrison? I know that you're going to tell us about Star Wars and the mini con.
Yes, well, we've been doing great. Everybody's been very excited about Mandalorian. It finally came out, and I've already seen it twice. I personally absolutely loved it.
Really?
It has gotten a lot of criticism that maybe was just 3 or 4 episodes thrown together.
Well,
I'll take the 3 or 4 really well done, higher budget episodes thrown together to see more of The Mandalorian. I thought it did elevate it above what would normally be seen in an episode. The standout thing for me was he was freaking John Wick. He was taking out stormtroopers and snowtroopers and bots like nobody's business. And I almost pissed myself when he double tapped 2 or 3 of them.
Yes.
I cannot believe it. He flamethrowers a guy and then pop, pop. Gets him while he's on the ground. And I'm like, that's like a John Wick move. My God. I was over the moon with the level of skill they demonstrated he had that made him believable.
Right.
Just like a John Wick. That he could go into a room and take out 20 stormtroopers and not even blink. I was very impressed with the action, very impressed with the choreography, very impressed with the special effects. I thought the story was well done, but it was, to me, very obviously episodic. There were like 3 or 4 segments of the movie that could have easily been credits roll, now it's the next episode. Credits roll, now it's the next episode. Almost like an arc multi-episode story that would have been in the normal show. I get that. And yes, they made the leap to movies. Now, the big question is, was it successful? It was moderately successful. Unfortunately, it's already dropped out of the top 5 for its 3rd weekend, and that was mostly due to some very stiff, unexpected competition from both Obsession, which I've seen and is phenomenal horror movie, and Back Rooms, which I've also seen, which I was not that impressed with, but was still interesting and art house and a little funky, kind of like a David Lynchy kind of movie. Both of those outperformed Mandalorian, which is very surprising. The one movie, Obsession, was made for $750,000 and is going to end up grossing $200 million. Mandalorian was made for about 165, but then you got to tack on another 160 or so for marketing, which they threw everything but the kitchen sink at the marketing for this movie, between the Burger King tie-in, Archer meat snacks, and all these other weird tie-ins, Pottery Barn, Grogu soap. It was just crazy the amount of marketing that they did with this movie. And it's probably going to have to clear $400 million to break even, which it's on track to possibly do with the global take, to possibly hit 400,000, and then it will make more on digital release and DVD and 4K Blu-ray sales and merchandise. All the merchandise they're going to sell, and interest in Star Wars is going to make it worthwhile. Whether or not it's going to generate another sequel, or whether Mandalorian heads back to TV or just becomes part of the Ahsoka season 3 when that comes out probably 2 years from now, who the heck knows at this point. The good news is there is still a future for Star Wars coming out next year. February, they're re-releasing the original Star Wars in theaters. And it's also just been announced that it's going to be an unmolested version of Star Wars. And it's going to be released in IMAX as well. So people are flipping out over the fact they might actually get to see the original Star Wars unadulterated in IMAX in theaters. So that's very exciting, all for the 50th anniversary of the movie. There's also the movie Starfighter coming down the pike with Ryan Gosling, Mia Goth, Matt Smith, looking and shaping up to be something exciting. Sean Levy directed it, the guy who just came off of Wolverine and Deadpool. Very excited to see what he's going to do with this property. He is a phenomenal director. Loves Stranger Things, loves some of his other work. I'm excited, very excited to see what he's going to do with Star Wars. There was also some leaks this week. And again, I got to preface this as leaks, completely unconfirmed rumors from supposed insiders, that basically the story is going to revolve around Ryan Gosling's character as a former pilot who's trying to lay low now. His name is supposedly Damon in the movie. And this young boy who's Jedi sensitive, his mother is killed, who's played by Amy Adams, and his mother's last words to him are supposedly, "Go find your uncle Damon." And Damon's going to try to protect him from some evil forces led by Matt Smith and Mia Goth, who is a Jedi sensitive evil element trying to track him down and trying to kill him. So that's the basic outline of the story that supposedly was leaked. Again, I take these all with a grain of salt. It could have been somebody talking out their rear end. It could not be true in any respect, but it sounds like a typical, in line with some of the other stories that we've seen in Star Wars, and could make for a fantastic movie. We'll have to see what happens. That comes out next May. So we have a year to wait to see how that's going to play out, and see if Ryan Gosling's star power can do for Star Wars what he did for Hail Mary. I mean, Hail Mary, he knocked it out of the park. I've seen that in the theater. I thought that was phenomenal. I'm hoping he can bring that excitement and that audience to Star Wars, and maybe get a whole new generation excited about Star Wars with a whole new storyline taking place far in the future in the Star Wars universe. Some other notable things that are coming down the pike: Ahsoka Season 2 at the Disney Upfront back in May. They announced that Ahsoka Season 2 is going to come out early 2027. And that's shaping up to be a great explosive season. We'll finally get to see them face down Thrawn. We'll see some of the characters get reunited. Very excited to see that show come back. And they've already shown a couple of glimpses that were shown at the Disney Upfront that Anakin Skywalker is going to play heavily in this second season, probably in flashbacks and visions from Ahsoka, and that's always exciting to see Hayden Christensen come back into the Star Wars universe. There's also been some talks of other series. There's a Ninth Jedi series coming out this year. That's an animated series that's an offshoot of that Disney Visions Japanese style animation series. There was this one breakout character that's going to be coming out as the Ninth Jedi, which is a short series that's going to be coming on. They haven't announced the exact release dates yet, but it is going to be sometime this year. Also, next year, we're looking forward to another Tales of series. It's been rumored that it may be Tales of the Sith. Again, just rumors. They already gave us Tales of the Jedi, Tales of the Underworld. We'll have to see, and Tales of the Empire. We'll see if they do a Tales from the Sith. That was a very exciting limited animated series. I enjoyed it very much, and I'm hoping that whatever they come up with next year will be something exciting. And we also just finished the Darth Maul Shadow, I think it was called Shadow Warrior. Incredible series. Some old enemies make an appearance. If you haven't already seen the series, I don't want to spoil it for you. Very well done adult animated series, which is what we're looking for. They had the Young Jedi Adventures really made for little kids. Maul is not a little kid series. Maul is a PG-13, very, very strongly written, very well voice acted Maul series that really bridges that time of what happened to him after the events of Phantom Menace, and as he's operating as a crime lord. It's really well done, very well executed, and they have greenlit a season 2 of that series. So that is very exciting. We probably won't see that for a year and a half, but the fact that it was so well received and that it is going in the right direction and they are greenlighting a second season is just incredible news for Star Wars fans. Now, so on some other areas within Star Wars Zero Company is coming out. That is a turn-based tactics game. I think it's coming out the middle or end of August. Cool. That's a AAA title that's coming out for Star Wars. That's coming out this year. And they also announced Star Wars Galactic Racer that will be coming out in late 2026, early 2027, which is exactly what I said, I think, 5 podcasts ago.
Yeah, it was a little while ago.
Regarding They already had this game, Star Wars Pod Racer. Probably the only good thing to come out of Phantom Menace was the Pod Racer game. Why not update that to a AAA title? Well, somebody heard us, and they're
You should
actually
get money
doing
on that. They should pay you for that.
Yeah, and coming out with Star Wars Galactic Racers. And you never know, Chris. Jar Jar may make an appearance in that. You never know. So cross your fingers. Cross your fingers.
I'll be playing that.
Happen.
If he's in there,
May
I'll
just
play it.
happen. Okay, well, we'll have to wait and see how that game pans out. I love all types of racing games. I play a lot of Gran Turismo. I love the game Wipeout on the PlayStation 5. So I like futuristic racing games. This is right up my alley, right in my wheelhouse. So I'm very excited. That's coming out for all platforms and everything later this year or early 2027. I'm betting early 2027 just because of the usual delays with games. But I know they're pushing to try to get it out in time for the holiday season this year. We'll see if they actually make that happen. There's also been some news about Fate of the Old Republic. They're doing an update to the Knights of the Old Republic and doing a whole new game, a AAA title. That probably won't see the light of day for a year and a half, but it is in development. It is being made. So people can look forward to that probably in 2028 at the current level that it's going. Star Wars Celebration tickets went on sale earlier this month. Needless to say, it was an absolute catastrophe for many people. There was a lot of negative reactions online. I personally and all my Garrison members were feverishly trying to get tickets to Celebration. I've never been to a Celebration myself and wanted to go for the 50th anniversary. It's being held in Los Angeles, California, April 1st to the 4th. And the tickets went on sale, waited in a queue for 90 minutes. And by the time I got in, there was no 4-day passes available, and Saturday was already sold out. So I was very pissed. Luckily, my Garrison mates had my back. Somebody was smart enough to buy extra single-day passes and have an extra set that they were able to sell me. So I got them at face value, and I really want to thank Matt from our Garrison for hooking me up with those tickets and having the foresight to buy some extra. Part of the problem was the ticket limit. How many tickets do you think should be a limit on buying tickets at one of these kind of events? Anyone? 5, 6, maybe even 8. The ticket limit was 20.
Oh my gosh.
It's ridiculous. It's a ridiculous number. And it was 20 of any type. So you could buy 24-day passes and 20 individual day passes. It was ridiculous. So the scalpers had a field day and bought up all the tickets before some of the real fans got them. And it's going to be a horror show. For the real fans, they're going to have to pay a premium. They're going to have to pay top dollar. And it's unfortunate. But hopefully they will. And the true fans will get to go and get to celebrate the 50th anniversary of Star Wars at Celebration in Los Angeles. I am beyond excited. It's going to be a nerd fest for 4 days. And I'm just going to go crazy. Literally 3/4 of my Garrison are going. I know 501st members from around the world are going. So it's going to be really a Star Wars fest like no one's ever seen before. So I'm very excited about that. In book news, Timothy Zahn's very critically acclaimed book Thrawn is getting a re-release in the fall. A deluxe edition hardcover is coming out. So anybody who wants that book and wants a really nice version of it, that's being re-released later this year. And unfortunately, Star Wars Insider, the 237th and final issue just came out. Very sad to hear that. I've been reading that for decades. That magazine is going away, and the final episode went out with a bang, with a huge feature on The Mandalorian, some insight into what was going to be happening with Starfighter. Some exclusive interviews with Kathleen Kennedy. It's a very good issue, and it was just a shame that it is going away. In the comics realm, Rogue One Jyn Erso that tells some of the backstory of Jyn Erso. That's very exciting. And in the toys arena, Hasbro's releasing a fully animatronic Grogu as part of their HasLabs collection. It's going to be $599. So for those of you with some money to burn, that toy will be available in a couple of months, and I think it already sold out for pre-orders. So unbelievable
Someone needs to donate one for Minicon.
opportunity. Hopefully we'll get one donated to raffle off for charity or something. In the past, we've usually gotten in on that. We've raffled off in the past their Razor Crest. We actually still have an extra ghost that we still are going to probably raffle off. That was an Ahsoka giant ghost ship. We're going to be raffling that off at New York Comic Con. So those do go up in value because they're just so rare. They only have a few hundred or a few thousand of them. Once they sell out, they're gone. So I'm sure that's going to become a collectible down the line. So we're going to try to score one sometime in the coming months. Just on some other news, the Mandalorian enhancements have gone live on the Millennium Falcon ride, both in Disneyland and in Disney World. They were met with some great reception, and they actually did a little quick video on Instagram with the cast of the Mandalorian actually playing, interacting with the new ride in Disneyland, which was just fantastic to see Sigourney Weaver and Pedro Pascal actually flying the Millennium Falcon in the ride and seeing the new Mandalorian footage that they've added is just incredible. So it's cool that they've actually integrated that into that ride and made it more current and made it a character that people want to see. So it's very exciting that that's now been gone live in all the Disney parks. Just one other note I wanted to mention, just on a sad note before I get into the 501st stuff, what we have coming up and some of the things we've done this year. We lost a member of the 501st Legion who was a friend of mine and a friend of the Garrison, was also a member of the Rebel Legion and the Droid Builders. His name was Matt Dunlop, and his funeral was earlier this week. Our commanding officer and XO were able to attend in Stormtrooper armor at the family's request, and his friends and family came out to honor him and to honor his legacy. We're very sorry to hear of his passing, and we just wanted to have a moment of silence for him and say buckets off to Matt Dunlop from both the 501st Legion, Rebel Legion, and the Droid Builders. So Matt, this is for you. Thank you. Now let me get into some of the other incredible good things we have going on with the 501st. It's always sad when we lose a member. And for somebody like Matt, who donated so much of his time and energy to worthy causes over the years, the 501st is constantly doing good work whenever we can. We just did the Makers Fair over the weekend and raised over $500 for the Lustgarten Foundation. And later this year, we have tons of stuff coming up. And I'll just read off a few of the major events. In June 24th to the 27th, we're going to be doing Return of the Jedi at Lincoln Center with the New York Philharmonic. So if you're going to be checking out any of those shows, we will be in the lobby taking photos with guests as they arrive. We're going to be at UBS Arena with Weird Al on July 11th. If you're going to be checking out Weird Al, you'll see us on stage for his Star Wars segment. And on July 18th, we'll be returning to Levittown Hall for our Sci-Fi Minicon to benefit the Cerebral Palsy Association. This year, we have some incredible guests, including Catherine Mary Stewart, Joe Zazzo, Brimstone, Damian Maffei, and a new guest, Sasha Graham, who has been in a bunch of horror movies and a bunch of sci-fi movies, and also has a book about horror stories, ghost stories, and tarot card readings. And she's going to be doing a little bit of her show that she's bringing to Edinburgh, Scotland later this year live at our Minicon on stage. So that's going to be very exciting. We're also going to have IFB there, as well as a few other authors and media guests, and the 501st Legion, the Rebel Legion will be there in force, along with the Saber Guild doing a Jedi performance. So it's going to be a very exciting time, all to raise money for the Cerebral Palsy Association. We also have a pre-raffle going right now for a 7-foot Darth Vader. Please get your raffles in.
Get in there before I win it again.
Yeah, you better not win it again, Chris. But Chris is a testament to the luck of the IFB family. He came all the way to the Minicon, and we were so happy that he actually won that we could just hand it to him.
That's right.
It was just karma.
It barely fit in the car.
It barely fit in the car, but we squeezed it in there.
This is true.
But we got another one, and we're raffling it off again this year. It's worth It sold originally for about $400. It's going on eBay for about $800 now. So it is a
Wow.
valuable collectible. And if you want a 7-foot Darth Vader in your life, this is the best way to get it. I'm sure after the show or in the comments they can share the flyer. You can go to cpnasa.org/sci-fi minicon for information about the minicon and to sign up for the Vader raffle. I'd also like to mention that we're having an auction live at 12:30, right when the convention starts, and we have some incredible items, some slabbed comic books, some other collectibles, and a very valuable item that I'm going to be absolutely bidding on. Somebody donated a oh my God, I'm totally blanking on her name. Mila Jovovich Fifth Element signed framed photo that's all been JSA authenticated and everything. Incredible piece for anyone's collection who likes sci-fi and likes Mila Jovovich. I'm absolutely bidding on that, so I'll be the one to beat for that particular item. But we're trying to up that this year, trying to get some really good high-end items, and trying to make a nice amount of money for CP Nassau at the Minicon. And we'll have other raffles and other fundraisers, including Blaster Trooper and some sales there of some snacks. So please check it out, July 18th at Levittown Hall. Also, we'll be returning to Levittown Hall in September, on September 13th, for our TrooperCon. That is a trooper-centric, 501st-centric event to really let people know what the 501st is about. And if you want to spend some time with some 501st members, learn about our costume making process, learn about our standards, learn about what we do, it's one-on-one access with some of our members. So please check that out if you're interested in joining the 501st Legion or just interested in finding out what we're about. TrooperCon is going to be September 13th at Levittown Hall as well. We also have another event that we're doing for the Cerebral Palsy Association. August 22nd at the Cradle of Aviation, we'll be doing Cars for a Cause. It's going to have some stormtroopers, some people from the Rebel Legion, some Saber Guild members, some movie cars, and some other incredible classic cars, all to raise money for the Cerebral Palsy Association. It was just a passion project of mine. I've been going to a lot of car shows the past 2 or 3 years, and said, why can't we do something for CP Nassau and put on a show for them? And that's what we're doing. And we got that together with the Cradle of Aviation, and we're going to try to make a go of it this year. So August 22nd at the Cradle of Aviation. And one more thing, we're going to be doing New York Comic Con. We're going to be there the entire 4 days, hopefully raising money for the Make-A-Wish Foundation and raffling off a giant HasLabs ghost ship worth about $1,000 at this point. It's very rare at this point. So please check us out there and come say hello, and we can answer any of your questions. And I wanted to mention one other thing. If you haven't already, you have to pick up this incredible book.
Oh, wow. Thank you.
You can see it here. It's a compendium of all the IFB podcasts written by Chris Moore and Peter Giacomo-Mios. You got to check this out. I totally screwed up your name, Pete.
That's okay.
But you got to check this out. Check this out. Get this on Amazon or wherever your books are sold. I can't even tell what's my thing. There, hold on.
It doesn't
my thing is totally blank. Why is it like going into?
That's that fuzzy thing. There it goes. There you go.
There you go.
There it goes.
Thank you, Chris.
I got to do a plug for the book, right?
That's it.
Yes, much appreciated. Thank you for your segment, Chris. Everybody loves it. There's a whole bunch of remarks, of course. We are honored and happy to be able to support. We will see you at the Minicon as we do. We have a table there, courtesy of you guys and your efforts. Thank you so much. We'll be there with bells on. And so here's to you. Here's to everything you do. Keep up the great work, and rest in peace, Matt. And we'll see you soon face to face. Chris, thank you very much.
Thank you, guys. And
all the best.
To Matt,
yep.
Dunlop, our buckets are off to you today.
All right. Well, thanks again, Chris. Loved it. So we have a great time when Chris Feehan comes on. And
oh yeah.
We love the fact that there's always got to be like.
But he still
twos
doesn't
and
have the
threes.
great information that I'm looking for. I mean.
Yeah,
the
but
fans
it's there. It's
are out there. The fans
it's
are out
floating
there.
around.
The fans
it's
are
so
yelling
great.
for this.
Listen, it only gets better when we have like a third Chris on. So, it's great, but then it becomes even better when there's a third Chris. But two Chris's is, I think, usually, good enough. And we always have a good time when we go to the cons. We always have a great time when we meet up with Chris. And I've seen him and met up with him at other events. So
Yeah,
always a good time.
last time I was up there, I got a signed copy of the Blu-ray
from the Last Starfighter.
From the Last Starfighter.
That's right.
That was amazing.
It was good. It was.
Cool. And they're supposed to be remaking that. So
yes, there is supposed to be a remake. So speaking of conventions, we've been spotlighting the fact that Shore Leave is a convention that you and I, unfortunately, Chris, we haven't had the opportunity to visit in the past. It is a very, very well-known fan-run convention. I remember encountering in writing Shore Leave when Starlog back in the 80s would run a convention section in the magazine, and Shore Leave was always there. But living in New York City, like I've said before, my excuse is, whether it's Creation, Big Apple, or one of the other smaller conventions, there was always something going on in my backyard, and it was not as easy to get out to Shore Leave. But this year, the stars have aligned, and we're going out there. We're going to have a world premiere of The Stranded Warrior, Battlestar Galactica fan film, of course. We've done very well. We just wrapped up our festival circuit, domestic and international, and we were able to get 36 awards for a fan film that was SAG approved. We had a SAG waiver, so it's a live action with some great acting in it, and we're very proud of the accomplishment. It's a showcase. It will premiere at Shore Leave. It's the first time that it's being screened at a convention and not a festival. So it's going to be there. We have a panel, we have a table. We're very happy to be there, and we have an update. So we have the heads of two departments or two tracks from Shore Leave. We will be talking about the art show and charities. And so the two reps are here. Jennifer, I hope it's Michalak. You'll correct me. And of course, Clint Pearson is here. So without further ado, they've been in the green room for a few minutes. Thank you guys for your patience. Thank you for coming on to Interfleet Broadcasting. And we are interested in hearing, your departments and what goes on in your tracks. So when my esteemed co-host, colleague, co-founder, Krista Tipsy Toaster presses the right buttons, you guys will magically appear, and we will discuss Shore Leave.
Messed up on the back end here.
Did they? All right, so take the wires and just
there we go.
There we go. Well, greetings
Clint,
to both of you. There we go. Good. So thank you for joining us, Clint. Can you fix Clint
I'm working
a little
on
bit
it.
there, my
Give me a
friend?
break.
Okay. Geez, you got to turn.
I'm being a little askew.
Well, folks, thanks for taking the time out. Please tell us about your backgrounds, as fans, and then tell us about Shore Leave and what you do with Shore Leave. Especially, I know that you've probably have a history, but tell us what you can about that.
Well, Jenny, why don't you go first? You've been with the organization longer than I have.
Oops. My fault.
So I'm Jenny Mishlak. I am in charge of the art show, and I have a few other functions with Shore Leave and STAT, the organization which puts on Shore Leave. And my background in sci-fi is that I grew up watching Star Trek, the various shows, and then also watched Stargate, read a lot of sci-fi. I remember getting Omni magazine when it first came out, which was really thrilling for me. I was in my teens. And I've got to know about Shore Leave through a friend. They needed some help. They needed some more volunteers. And I stepped up. I have a background in writing and in art, and 3 years ago, I started to manage the art show. This is my third year managing the art show. It's a lot of fun. The volunteers have a lot of fun. It's a great opportunity for artists. Basically, an artist can bring up to 20 pieces of their artwork to the show and display it. We take 12% commission, and they get nice checks at the end of the show. And we are also looking for volunteers. As you know, maybe you don't know, if you volunteer 12 hours with shore leave, the following year you get your membership. And a lot of people find that they want to come back and volunteer year after year after year. There are a lot of possibilities. Mostly in the art show, what we do is we hang the art or display the art. We conduct the sales, and Saturday night we have an auction, and that is for any piece of art that has 3 bids on it. If a piece of art has 3 bids, then it goes to auction, and I have seen some artwork go for extremely high prices. And we have an auctioneer, my husband, who's great. And it's just a very fun experience. Pickup for the artist Sunday morning. And basically, if there is any art that is not sold and people want to come by Sunday morning and grab it, they're welcome to it. They're welcome to purchase it. So that's pretty much the art show.
Very cool. So does it have to be sci-fi related? Does it have to be Star Trek
Oh,
related?
no, no, not at all. We have had some incredible pieces. One woman made chainmail, and that was 2 years ago. She's come back almost every year. She's very active. She's our volunteer manager. And she got a very nice check for that. I have seen fantasy art. I have seen art based on the galaxies and astrology and astronomy. And I've seen all kinds of art. The only thing we ask is that the artist does not use any copyrighted work, especially any photos. That is a big no-no. And if somebody shows up with something like that, unfortunately, we have to ask them to basically pull the art. But pretty much any kind of subject is open. And if it's of adult nature, we have a way of handling that too.
Oh.
So
Interesting. Excellent. Well, this is a part of a shore leave that goes back, I would assume, a long ways, right? This is not something that just came up, recently.
From my understanding, this has been around, I believe, almost from the beginning.
Wow.
Yeah. It's if you go to a lot of fan conventions, you'll find that they have art shows, and it's fun for the participants to come and shop and see some original pieces. They're a little bit different than going to the vendor's room. And a lot of times the artists are there. My second in charge, Tristan Alexander, is a wonderful, wonderful painter. He does mythological beings, and his detail is incredible. He is going to be there. He loves to talk about his art. He loves to talk about the process and the methodology of how he comes up with the concepts. There are a lot of first-time artists, though, also. We've had some kids come in and display their art and have walked away with nice checks. So it's really lovely to see everybody participate, everybody from the beginner to the more mature, advanced artist participate in the show.
Excellent. Well, thank you. We look forward to checking that out. That is not not typical, especially not at those very big, the big conventions, the commercialized big ones don't usually, take the time out for something like that. And it's nice to know that it's still done, in the smaller, traditional style conventions. So that's really cool. And I know that I will enjoy that personally. And then just jumping over to Clint, you're in charge of charities at Shore Leave. What does that mean?
Well, Shore Leave has been known to donate money to a number of different charities over the many years. This is actually my fourth year as the charities coordinator. We've actually supported charities such as St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital, Navy Marine Corps Relief Society, World Central Kitchen, the Maryland Food Bank, the Central Pennsylvania Food Bank. This year, we're also including the Air Force Aid Society, since we actually have one of our members who had recently passed, who is an Air Force veteran, and we want to make sure we give back to our Air Force veterans. I'm a Navy veteran, so the Navy Marine Corps is actually dear to my heart. So what we do is many of our members who come to the convention, they have many items, memorabilia that they would actually like to donate to the club so that way we can auction them off. One year we had 5 season 1 original series scripts from Star Trek.
Wow.
That went for a pretty penny. And my very first year, they threw me right to the wolves. They said, all right, you're doing a live stage auction and you're being helped by Bob Picardo. So go ahead and sell these scripts. It was
That's
a lot of
cool.
fun, but it was a lot of fun. It continues to be a lot of fun. And we get to help so many people in the meantime while we're collecting the funds. So at my table, I'm actually situated in the vendors hall, right behind the Shore Leave Emporium. On my table, we have lots of silent auction items, and then we have a preview of the things that are going to do on the live auction stage. We're going to have an auction just before the Shore Leave Masquerade, which is the best costume contest ever. And then we do a full hour stage auction on Sunday. Things that go to auction are things like chessboards that are beautifully made, original series scripts. Last year, a book that was signed by, it was called Making of Star Trek. It was signed by Gene Roddenberry, the entire cast of the original series, Isaac Asimov, Harlan Ellison, all the great luminaries of sci-fi. Yes. And that went for quite a penny.
Wow. What can we do to help and support, Clint? What since we're going to be there as well, can we donate items, or what is it?
We appreciate any donations that you have. Like, say, take for instance, 2 cons ago, Robin Curtis from Star Trek 3 and 4. No, yeah, just Star Trek 3 and 4. Yes, she donated a box full of her old memorabilia from the set of Star Trek.
Wow, that's cool.
They asked me to do this so that way, because I am deeply and intimately familiar with sci-fi memorabilia. I am a deep, die-hard nerd of the highest order. I grew up with Star Wars, Star Trek, the old anime series, Star Blazers and Speed Racer. If it was sci-fi, I had my hands all in it. And in 4th grade, they were looking at me like, why are you reading Isaac Asimov? Because it's interesting.
Of course.
Exactly.
Well, I'll tell you, Clint, I happen to have a limited edition collectible Cylon hat.
Oh my goodness.
This was part of a box that it was a box set that you had to like pre-order, and it was one of those surprise boxes, sci-fi boxes, and we found out that it was going to be a Battlestar related, and this was one of the items that came in that box. It's in the original plastic. never been used or worn. I would like to donate this on behalf of IFB to your auction, being that you're going to have three Battlestar Galactica, Classic Galactica actors that are going to be there, right? One is going to be virtual, but the other two will be there, right? So Lieutenant, Boomer and Sheba, and of course Jack Stauffer's Bojay. But so there is this Battlestar thing. So I'm going to bring that to you, and hopefully whatever you raise with it, obviously you'll go to charity, and I'm glad to bring that with me for you to then do what needs to be done with.
We really appreciate that. Thank you so much. This year's official charities are the World Central Kitchen, St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital, and Air Force Aid Society. So that way, we also do a teacher school supply drive throughout the entire weekend. So last year was the first year we did it. The turnout was nothing short of amazing. We had teachers and educators lined up, filling up boxes and backpacks, telling us how nobody ever does this kind of thing for teachers anymore. And we were just happy to help as much as we possibly could.
Wow, that's great. Well, we definitely, as fans, we definitely appreciate everything you do, Jennifer and Clint. You bring a different element to a convention that is not normally done by all of them, especially not the bigger ones. They unfortunately don't have much time for things like this that really matter. Right? The grassroots, the organic stuff that's been with the the fan run cons like Shore Leave. I think that's important to keep that grounded, and so we appreciate it. My first convention was back in 1977. As a kid, I was lucky to have a mom that was willing to take me to a con in New York City, and I've been going to them ever since. And I really look forward to meeting both of you if possible at Shore Leave. I will talk to my partner and see if the Tipsy Toaster and I can come up with anything else that might grab attention at the con that we can donate. So thank you for everything you guys do.
A lot more stuff to donate.
Oh, my wife actually wants me to donate a few of my things as well, but she's also the person who runs the vendors hall.
There you go. It always goes back.
My daughter's involved as well. She's part of the con operations team, as well as her boyfriend. We make this a huge family affair. That's exactly what Stat Club is. We are just one giant family.
That is so cool. We will have, if you don't already know, we will have a very strong Battlestar Galactica representation. And so the Battlestar fan club is going to be there, as well as Dragon Lady, the president of BFC, and her executive board. Raider 1 will be there. We were able to also bring Battlestar Bulletin Board, Sean Shallow. He's going to be there. He's going to be on our panel as well. So ourselves representing IFB, as well as the Stranded Warrior, our award-winning fan film. And so there's going to be at least 3 Cylons in armor. We're going to have various colonial warriors there. So we will have a very good and strong representation. As a matter of fact, the colonial warriors, Paul Rotter, Commander Kane, well known in all the circles of Battlestar Galactica, is also going to be there. So we're going to have, I think, a strong turnout. And we want to thank you guys for coming out here, coming on to the show tonight, and taking all that effort that you do, and the love for what sci-fi is, and channeling it into a convention. We're looking forward to attending.
Thank you guys so much for having us. I don't know if I can speak for Jenny on this, but I really appreciate your guys' time and having us here.
Absolutely.
Yes, same here. Thank you so much. Thank you.
You're very welcome. So, guys, here's to you. Fans fuel the fleet, and you guys are doing the right thing. So, cheers.
Yep. Take care. Thank you.
Cheers. Take care.
All right. Bye, guys.
Excellent.
Nice.
That's July 10, 11, 12 at Lancaster, Pennsylvania, Shore Leave 46. Guys, if you have not bought your tickets, if you haven't made your reservations,
you better jump on it now. What's your problem?
Yeah, come on. We're going to have a great time. So we had charities, the head of the charities and the head of the art show were just on. And so thank you to both of them, Jennifer and Clint, for coming on. And this is part of our commitment to Shore Leave, regular updates on what's going on, what it's about, how they do it. There we go, right? This is an ongoing thing up until we actually get to Shore Leave. And when we're there, we're going to have broadcasts. We're going to record live to tape as we usually do. We'll try to do some live as well. I know that Battlestar Bulletin Board, Sean Shallow is going to be there, and, he likes to do some of that as well. So we're going to try to cover it as much as we can. Panel is going to be incredible, right? We're going to have a whole bunch of cast and crew from the Stranded Warrior are going to be part of the panel to do a Q&A. So remember, everybody, we're screening award-winning trailer. We're going to screen the film first time at a con, right? World premiere. We've never had it screened at a con. This is the first time we do it at a convention. So thank you, Shirley, for having us. And then we'll open it up, and then we're going to have a discussion on what and where Battlestar Galactica stands in the world and pop culture today, as of the day of the panel, because we're going to have the heads of various social media groups and the BFC, and so it's going to be great, right? So this is the first time that we're going to be able to do that on the East Coast, and so we are looking forward to that. Now, with that said, we have our next guest waiting in the wings in the quote the green room, and the green room is not green, but at least not ours. But yes,
it has virtual cookies though, so you can actually
it has virtual
no
cookies,
M&Ms,
right.
but you got virtual cookies in there, so
yeah.
You can actually have
so Chris, you see, I'm going to donate the hat, man.
Like I said, if my wife had anything to do with it, there'd be a whole lot more donations going on.
Yeah, exactly. So look, we have actually not. We've touched upon here and there over the last 6 seasons of IFB. You and I have mentioned wrestling on occasion.
Oh, definitely, and I grew up with.
Yeah, that was one of the things, right? Yeah. We don't. I mean, I didn't really. I didn't grow up on sports, and
neither did I. I mean, yeah.
Right. So wrestling is the closest that we came to sports, and I loved watching roller derby when I could, when it was around. Sometimes you'd watch it, like something like that West Coast roller derby was incredible. But I grew up watching a lot of wrestling, a little bit of soccer, but mostly wrestling. And, like the Olympics, when the Olympics come on and stuff, that was a big deal, of course. But wrestling was my thing. And it was my dad's as well, Chris. And so we get together.
My father drugged me to the wrestling things. That's where I got involved with it. And I can remember. It was such it I grew up in Casper, Wyoming, so to get wrestling out there, first of all, was amazing. And I remember where the first place I saw it, and it was part of the rodeo area, and it was it literally was
the rodeo.
It was
okay.
It was the
Who did you
ground
see?
Was still and that was like I said, it was. I did see there's some big people at that point. It was
who? Come on.
It was oh my gosh, why am I stumbling?
Bob Backlund. Say it. Bob Backlund.
I don't know. Remember that one? I remember Andre the Giant, but it was really in the very beginning.
All right.
Andre the Giant.
You said Ivan Putski when we were
yep.
Ivan Putski. All right.
Then he came in with some kind of. This was weird because I remember it specifically. He came in pulling a little
dog.
A dog. Remember the dog that you had as a kid with the yellow plastic
Dude,
string,
I got to see him.
The head would go back and forth.
I used to go to Madison Square Garden. I was lucky
you saw
enough
Madison
to see,
Square Garden.
I was Madison Square Garden, and I used to go to some of the
metal
high
building.
schools. No, dude. Well, look, the high schools and the high schools here in New York City, the bigger ones, sometimes would sponsor wrestling. And I mean, I got to see Jimmy Snuka, Superfly.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, Tony Gurria and some of the greatest wrestlers of their time. I even saw Bruno Sammartino lose the belt, lose the world championship to Billy Graham. It was the last time that he tried to get it back from him, and he didn't. And it was incredible. Sold out. Madison Square Garden sold out. I was in the nosebleed sections with our neighbors and my dad, and then we used to go all the time.
There, buddy.
I grew up on WWF and NWA. Those were, and then eventually, like ECW was part of New York, here in New York, and I got to see a lot of that as well. And then at some of the cons, I got to meet a lot of wrestlers. And I don't know that we actually have mentioned this before, but when I was in college in a fraternity, we used to do our own shows. We used to do little wrestling skits, and
really?
Yes, we would do break the tables and break the chairs and do the suplexes, and we did that for a while until we almost got thrown out of college for doing it. But it was like unannounced, and we used to do it in the fraternity hall, and we had a really, really good time with that. And that's with Tiny Bean Tara's older brother, and so we used to do that, and we had a lot of fun with it. So that is why we're discussing the talk.
Oh, you're cutting out, Pete.
Hand coming on. So, Mr. Sean Wiggins is with us, and we are going to talk wrestling. Hey, Sean, what's up, buddy? How
finally, we're getting to do this. I'm ready to rock and roll. We're going to call it in the ring, brother.
Let's do it in the squared circle, man. In the squared circle. So, Sean, I wanted to thank my cousin George Giacomis. He's part of our production team here at IFB. He's a friend of yours, a colleague of yours, and he made it all happen, brought it all together. So, just a shout out, George. Thanks for getting Ref Hanson here. Like you overheard, we're big wrestling fans from a particular time. You were a professional referee in the business, and so you have a past, you have a present, and I know that there's a future. So tell us about you and wrestling. How does it come together?
Well, Pete, I'm closer to your guys' age. We're from the same. I like to consider myself a Gen Xer, not a millennial. And I think I think, and we all say this about our own personal lives, had the best professional wrestling handed us in a silver platter. Hulk Hogan comes in 1984. I'm 3 years old. And what I'm told by my brother is Superfly Jimmy Snuka was my first favorite because I always be jumping off the coffee table on top of him. So I knew at 3 years old, this is what I'm going to do. And I'll be honest with both of you guys here. From day one, first grade, second grade, middle school, high school, I was there to socialize. I was there to graduate. That's it. I knew I was going into professional wrestling from day one.
Nice.
Now, where I grew up in New Jersey, in Bloomfield, New Jersey, right by Newark, we didn't just have the WWF. We had the NWA.
Oh.
And which Ric Flair, Dusty Rhodes, we're talking that genre, that time, and world-class championship wrestling, which featured the Von Erich brothers. I don't know how familiar you are with the Von Erichs, the Iron Claw.
Yes.
Right. And what's not known, I don't know how much you guys know in depth here. Vince McMahon, when he started with the World Wrestling Federation, he had 3 guys in mind to be his champion. And we've seen a documentary on Netflix that he thought of Dusty Rhodes as being the guy. But he also had, of course, Hulk Hogan. He got the guy. He needed. But he was looking at Ric Flair, and he was looking at the modern-day warrior, Kerry Von Erich. And the Von Erichs were huge. They were a huge success in Texas. And, I mean, it was the 80s. So we know what happened there in world class. I mean, a lot of unfortunate tragedy. But Vince McMahon and the WWF came out on top, regardless. But growing up for me in the 80s and then into the 90s, I had WWF, world class, NWA. Then in the 90s, we get the Attitude Era and the Monday Night Wars. So we had 2 different giant, we had the Golden Era, and then we have the Attitude Era, and that's my childhood. So to me, I'm like, I get to watch all these guys, and I get to learn from all these guys. And I knew at that point, that's where I was going. I was going head first into it. And all through school. I was on the football team, and my coach would say, "Why don't you join the wrestling team, and it'll prepare you for professional wrestling." And I didn't have the heart, or maybe the guts to tell an adult, like, no, this is two different worlds. Like, I knew where I was going. I knew where it's in here. And you talked about what you used to do a little play wrestling during
That's
your
right.
time. I had a backyard wrestling federation, Chaos Championship Wrestling, and we would run shows at Foley. It all happened, and yes, the police did show up a couple of times. Legitimately, they thought we were fighting, but I mean,
anybody go to the hospital?
Luckily not. Luckily not. But I say this, and it's cliche to look back, but we were untrained. We would get tables that were laying on the garbage when people would put their garbage out on Monday and Thursday. We would look for a folding chair. We would look for a folding table, whatever we could find. Maybe a garbage can lid. We had characters. We had events. We had storylines. We had everything.
That's cool.
And little did I know that in high school I was preparing myself for what I wanted to do in life. So professional is the greatest thing because there's nothing in the world like it. You can't compare it to anything.
It's incredible. You know, Sean, we had Joe Carabeo has been on our show a bunch of times, and he did backyard wrestling, and he actually, if I'm not mistaken, he was broadcasting it. He got, he kind of kicked it up to the next level. And he's been
Kids
out
nowadays,
there doing stuff.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, look where you can go with this. But I'll tell you, man, it's really, really fun. And I say I'm lucky. Oh, so Roddy Piper. So Roddy Piper, I remember when he started out, I was watching him in the NWA fighting against Chavo Guerrero and his brothers and the feuds that went on back in the day. So when he finally made it over here to the East Coast, I already knew who Roddy Piper was, man. I was like, holy man, I grew up watching him because we'd watch Lucha Libre on the Spanish channels and we'd catch all the greatest. And I got to tell, I was told that I had to bring this up to you before we go too crazy.
Oh, God.
But one of my all-time favorites, Mil Máscaras, man.
I wish I could have showed. I wish I had the footage, the actual picture of it. I had one match where I refereed for Mil Máscaras.
Did you really?
I swear to you, this was in Clifton, New Jersey, 2007. 2007. So he still had some years on him at that time.
Yeah.
It was. I don't remember his partner. He was another Mexican wrestler and it's known. I don't know how well you noticed, but Mexican wrestlers or the Lucha Libre wrestlers back then, they never took their mask off.
Right.
Like, that was a real thing. Even in the locker room, I'd shake hands with Mil Máscaras and he's got his mask on. He just never took it off. There's a kayfabe where you don't give away, break the fourth wall.
Sounds like the Mandalorian.
But it's like culture down there. So his partner didn't speak any English, and which he was an older guy. But he was to himself, and a lot of that generation, that older school generation, kind of stayed to themselves. So I was used to it. But they wrestled Don Montoya and Reckless Youth, known as the Black T-Shirt Squad, and they're pretty famous independent wrestlers. So when I got to the event that night, those two were friends of mine. Don Montoya came right up to me and said, Hanson, you're working with Mil Máscaras tonight. And someone will say something to you, just stare at him because you don't know what he just said. 'Cause I did not know Mil Máscaras was going to be wrestling on the show. So, and this is for everybody. I'm sure every up-and-coming NFL football player, MLB baseball player, NBA, NHL, whatever you want to do. If you want to get into the NFL and you say, man, I hope one day I get to throw the ball to Justin Jefferson. But in wrestling, you had those holy cow moments too, man. Like, I got backstage. I'm sitting there like, dude, that's Mil Máscaras. Like, that's Mil Máscaras. And I'm going to be in the ring with him. You start to pinch yourself a little bit. You don't want to kiss these guys' butts, but he's a legend. He's a freaking legend.
Absolutely. I got to see him in a battle royal at Madison Square Garden, and he was flying through the ropes, man. I was like, what? And I had seen him on NWA, on, Lucha Libre, and it was like, my God, I'm at the Garden. I'm actually watching him in a battle royal. But, Sean, I'll tell you, I met him, and he's like he was retired. He was retired,
Yeah.
but he was flying to do some kind of a special event, and it was in like I think it was Minneapolis, and he was at the airport, and I ran into him, and I actually interacted him. I met him without his mask.
Really?
Yeah.
I've never seen him without his mask.
Yeah, man. I got to talk to him for a while. Like I knew a little bit about his background, and I knew that he had a couple of sons, and they wouldn't have anything to do with wrestling, and his one son was like into business or whatever, and so we struck up this conversation, and in passing it was like, hey, so where are you headed? And so he said, and he told me he was going to an event, and he only had like a suit bag, and that's where his wrestling stuff was in, and I was like, what I mean, what do you do? Like, I mean, this tall guy, full head of hair, and and he's the older guy, but and he's like, oh, well, I'm going to a wrestling thing. The wrestling thing. You would have never thought that he was who he was, man. He was in a suit, like just incredible physique, and I was like, what are you wrestling? He's like, oh yes, I have a special appearance. He spoke really good English, and I said, so I talked to him a little bit. I'm like, do you mind if you tell me what is your stage name? And he says, I am known as Mil Máscaras. And I nearly crapped myself, man. I was like, what? So look, I played dumb, Sean. I was like, my father's a big fan of yours. I felt embarrassed, man. I was like, I didn't want to fan out on him. So I kept talking to him a little bit, and then he had a connecting flight, and that was it. And I was like, holy mackerel, I got to meet Mil Mascaras without his mask. But I mean, I'm telling you a story that's, like 15 years old. So he's definitely probably in his like 70s or something at the time. But I was like blown away, man. I was like, I got to meet Mil Mascaras, man, without his mask on.
That's crazy. And you could approach these guys. A lot of them are approachable. I mean, they want to talk now. A lot of the guys don't want to like talk wrestling. And an older wrestler said this to me, a guy named Raven. He said, anybody any civilian, anybody who doesn't do this, you could work for NASA. You could be a rocket scientist. You want to talk about wrestling. If you meet a wrestler, you want to talk about wrestling. It's something every guy wants to talk about. We all watch it as kids. Even the ones that said that stuff's fake. Even the ones that said, "Oh, I don't watch it. That stuff's corny." Everybody watching. Everybody wants to talk about it. And Mil Mascaras is a guy that, I mean, I don't know him well, but that older generation, the older they get, they realized, and I can cut myself off here and bring up another story that adds to this. They want to be known. They want to be seen. They want to be pointed out, go, oh my God, it's Mil Mascaras. Booker T told me this. There was one time after a show, we're going back 2009, 2010, Mr. Kennedy of WWE fame, of Ken Anderson, TNA, Booker T, and myself were eating, and Booker T is pretty, you can recognize him. He's got the big dreads. He's a big body. He can't really hide. Fans are approaching him. We're at this little diner, the TikTok diner over here on Route 3 in Jersey, and fans started approaching him as he's eating. And I'm sitting here across from him with Ken. No one's coming up to Ken. He's got his hat on. But I'm sitting here like, oh, man, I brought him to this place where every fan's going to bother him and ask him for. And fans kept coming and kept coming. This is midnight, 1 o'clock, but it's Route 3, New Jersey, so it might as well be noon. So there's like 50 people in there. Even the owner of the place takes a picture with him. As we're walking to the car, and this made me have so much respect for Booker T. As we're walking to the car, I went, hey, Book, man, I'm sorry. I didn't realize I picked this place. I didn't think a lot of people would be here. He cuts me off. He goes, no, man, I only get mad when they don't come up to me and they don't ask me for my autograph. That's when I worry. And right there, he taught me something. He's like, oh, yeah, it's not about you. It's about the fan, and it's about your product. And he understands that. And a lot of them do. I mean, I hate to speak ill of people who aren't here anymore, but that was a bugaboo of the Ultimate Warrior. He wasn't a people person, and he didn't kind of get that at first. I shouldn't talk like that because I wasn't there when he was champion, but that's some of these guys don't understand Hulk Hogan brings it up in his documentary that this is you're not just your character, you're carrying yourself. And that's what Booker T was pretty much teaching me. He goes, I'm carrying the aura of Booker T. I need people to know me. So you're like, and you're a real life superhero. It's if Superman was walking around. Wrestlers carry that. It's pretty amazing.
What about you, Sean? Does anyone ever recognized you out there?
I'll be honest, and I'll give myself a little pat on the back. There was one time in Willowbrook Mall. It was the fan recognized me from Ring of Honor. So I mean, those Ring of Honor DVDs went everywhere, and I kept going, "Where do you know me from?" And it was a younger guy. It was a younger kid. It looked like a comic book kid, and he said Ring of Honor, and had struck up a conversation with him. But usually, it's at wrestling shows that I'm at, or a convention I might go to. When a fan comes up to me and goes, "Hey, you're that ref. You were Hanson, blah, blah, blah." Some of them do. Some of them do. It's not, people aren't running up to me left and right. But when you are recognized, I'm recognized at a wrestling environment, it feels amazing. Because I look at it as I would be doing that to some other wrestler when I was 8. It really is full circle. It took me to get to 45 years old to understand that. Life is full circle.
Sean, I've met a lot of celebrities over the years, historical people, and actors, A-list, B-list, old timers, and they don't all get it. I remember there was a circuit that some of the wrestlers would do, and they would go around the world. And it was Thanksgiving weekend, and Barry Windham and the team come back from Saudi. They were doing like the whole Middle East type of thing, and now they were coming back. So I recognized them. I went up to talk to him, and the guy was, we talked old time wrestling. I asked him about his dad, right? And Blackjack Mulligan, and like, so I grew up on his stuff. I started talking to him. He's like, we're talking back and forth, and he's telling me insides and outs, and Van Vader's there, Paul Orndorff is there, some of the other guys, there was a whole bunch of these guys, and you could tell, man, everybody's got a personality. Everybody takes it, one way or the other. I would say that my experiences are, like outside of the show, 80 to 90%, Sean, they were all cool. All of them understood what it is to interact with a fan. But there's a few of them that didn't, and they didn't want to be bothered, man. They just wanted to be left alone.
Back then, especially back in the day, now it's very different because everybody knows it's a work. Everybody knows it's entertainment. It's a show. But back then, you would not want to meet the good guys sometimes. Right. I would hear that a lot because the bad guys were actually the nicer guys.
Yes.
Oh, wow. Which honestly, it makes no sense. But then when you dissect it, the bad guy usually loses in the end. He knows he's going to do the job for the good guy at the end of the story. So he kind of gets what it's about. The good guy always has to look strong, look tough. And it was, I have to protect my character, my persona. So back then, a lot of guys would tell me in the locker rooms, I always wanted to be heel. I always wanted to be a bad guy because it was an easier job. It's hard to get people to like you more than it is to get someone to. I can easily get somebody to hate me. But my wife is here. Hold on one second. She can tell you, but I'm sure she'll come on later. But and you brought something else where like the actors, A-list celebrities don't get it. They are usually redoing the same scene over and over and maybe a studio cut, but pro wrestlers are out in the crowd with people. Then at intermissions, they're talking to people, signing autographs, taking pictures. So there's way more interaction with a professional wrestler, I think,
more
than
improv.
any other celebrity. Yeah. Right.
Oh, heck yeah. Yeah, there is no, cut, take two. Yep. You're in the ring, you're doing it. And that's that.
And what you just said is perfect because nowadays, everybody creates the match in the back. I mean, I'm sure certain guys do it differently, but everybody talks about the entire match. Where back in the day, you have the bad guy in one locker room, you have the good guy in the other locker room, and the referee would go back and forth, and that's how they would exchange their finishes and exchange what they're going to do tonight. Yeah, it was all out there. Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, you clearly know who that is. I think it's pretty much within the industry, he is the greatest good guy of all time. So if you were going to learn and watch, and I want to study somebody to become the greatest baby face of all time, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. I've met him a million times. He's a wonderful guy. He was probably my best teacher I ever had. And he taught me, he pulled me in. He understood that I was a sponge and I wanted to learn more. And Ricky Steamboat gave me this quick story. And I might be, telling you Santa Claus is fake here, but legendary WrestleMania 3 is his famous match with the Macho Man Randy Savage. Everybody knows that match. It is, I could watch it right now it's one of the greatest matches that there ever was. Ricky Steamboat's other biggest opponent is Ric Flair. They've wrestled a million times in the NWA. I'm talking to him about each one. This is at a Ring of Honor show in Chicago. This is hours before the show. And we're just talking about it. And he said, Randy had a notebook. Randy Savage had a notebook. He wrote out the entire match of what he wanted to do.
Wow.
And gave a copy to Ricky Steamboat and kept it for himself. And they would go over it. All right, Rick, I'm on move 21. What's next? Take the match from there. And he would talk like that. And a lot of guys that met that knew Savage, I had never met him, said he was so detail oriented that a lot of that was real with him, that he was so anxious and detail oriented. Not that it's saying he was a bad person. He was just very, very detailed. So they would do that every night before WrestleMania 3 for I don't know how long. All right, I'm on move 26. What's next? Blah, blah, blah. Whenever he'd work with Ric Flair, hey Rick, we got 60 minutes tonight. It's best 2 out of 3. Figure 4, sunset flip, high cross body. Yeah. See you out there.
No kidding.
And they'd go out there and work for 60 minutes.
Wow. That's incredible.
And back then, every match is a producer now. Right here, my guys, ACW. Oop, that's Sean. There I am, ACW. I produce there, and it's you have help. We're all putting it together. You have a lot of cooks in the kitchen putting it together. Sometimes it's a bad thing, but you have all this help. Back then, it's 2 guys going out there and the crowd. And we're going to play off of that. And some old school guys would bring that mentality all the way up until today. But once those guys are gone, then we don't see Dennis Rodman in the NBA anymore. That type of player is gone. It's kind of turned into the Steph Curry and the Anthony Edwards. The finesse has kind of changed the game of basketball. Well, professional wrestling is kind of still the same in that. It's like it's become more produced than a sport. And I'm not saying that's a good thing or a bad thing. It's just different. And I think it's just different. I almost tell people that what me and you know, Pete, what we grew up on, it's almost completely different today in so many different ways. Because I would hear Ricky Steamboat, Raven, Al Snow. I want to bring a lot of these guys, these names up. Manny Fernandez, these old school wrestlers who had tons of success, would teach me things that today may not work. Today may not. It's just the game has changed.
Yeah.
We're in the world of meta. We're in the world of instant gratification and instant entertainment. So everything's so fast and so furious. And that's why you see the wrestling now. You go back and watch. You brought up. When I was in the green room, I heard you bring up Bob Backlund, and you think of Bob Backlund, and then you think of the wrestlers you see today. They are 2 different planets.
Wow.
So like the speed, the intensity, the attire, what they wear, what they present, it's become so Hollywood and so show business that I used to not like it. And you say, no, this is not what pro wrestling is. Now I'm embracing it. And I'm saying, we're taking it to the next level. We're taking professional wrestling from the 80s and 90s. We're making it even better. We're bringing it up. We're taking the old school mentality and we're adding more entertainment to it.
Wow, that's so cool. So, Sean, you as a referee, I know that you kind of retired that whole aspect of yourself and then you have a whole other career working in the industry in terms of the entertainment and sports industry. But you never left it. You're going back. I know that somewhere along the line, I believe you trained as well. So did you train because you wanted to actually be a wrestler? Did you have a persona in mind? And where are you now? Like, where are you headed? Because I kind of know, but I want everybody else to know.
Well, I trained to be a professional wrestler, 100%. I had really long hair. I was ready to go. I wasn't big enough body wise, but of course I'm 18. I don't know anything. And right out of high school, didn't have a job, and I was working jobs here and there. I took the bus to the city subway, found my way to Bayonne, New Jersey, and trained at the JPW Wrestling School in 2000. And I trained to be a wrestler. That's what I wanted to do. I was trained by Low Key, who I'm sure anyone watching this who's watched wrestling over the last 25 years knows who that is. He was Caval in the WWE, or should be Caval in the WWE. He worked in TNA, big star in Japan for a while. And Don Montoya, who I brought up previously, he also trained me, another gentleman, Magic. And I would train, I'd take the bumps, and becoming a referee was a complete accident. Here's how it happened. There was a professional wrestler named Skinhead Ivan. Bad guy. Yeah, shocker there. He is wrestling one of the students. He's going to have just a little training match. They're just working out. He turned around and went, "Hey kid, get in here and ref." Just looking at me, I went, "Oh, okay." I'm brand new. I'm like, "Yes, sir." Anything anyone said, I'm doing it. Ran in, started refereeing. Then two other guys had a little match. I reffed that. The promoter, Fat Frank, we lovingly called him, God rest his soul, passed away in 2015. Frank Iadeva, who ran Jersey All Pro, walked up to the ring and went, "Hey, you're pretty good. You want to ref my show next month?"
Oh, wow.
That was it. So I never wanted to be a referee. I never tried to be a referee. Then when I started reffing, though, I said, I should try to be great at this. So I would watch Mike Chioda, the legend Earl Hebner, Baby Earl, who was in every main event in the WWF forever. The late Brian Hildebrand. I started actually watching some of these referees because I would start refereeing for guys like my good friend who's passed on, Chris Candido. I always want to mention Chris Candido. He is of all the people I wanted my son to meet, I wish it could have been him. He would have called him Uncle Chris. He was there. We all hear how great Owen Hart was as a human being, and that's 100% true. Chris Candido right there with him. He was just a sweet soul. Wow. But he told me, "Hey, Hanson, you might want to watch old Brian Hildebrand tapes." And Brian Hildebrand was a referee. His stage name was Mark Curtis in WCW. And he also refereed for Smoky Mountain Wrestling, a bunch of other places. And I started just studying referees. And then this is 2000. So WCW and ECW went out of business in 2001. I get into wrestling in 1999. So the three big companies, WWF, WCW, ECW, two of them are gone within a year and a half of me starting. So it's like, yeah, great. So there was a little bit of
winner.
Right. It's like, yeah, heating and air school still open. But I was like, I'm going for
truck
this.
Driver. Got it. Truck driver. We're in New Jersey. We're good.
So I said, I'm going for this anyway. ECW is out of business 2001, and all of the ECW wrestlers kind of live in the tri-state area. Most of them, I should say. Right. Most of them are my friends now. So they're coming onto the independent scene. And then some of the WCW guys who were out of work, they start coming to the independent scene. It seems like the independent scene just like loaded up. And this is 01, 02, 03. And there's none of the referees from there are coming in. But in my mind, I'm like, oh no, I got to work 50 times harder. I got to be so much better than everybody else because there's only one company left. And there was a lot of fear at that time. It was actually, I don't want to say it was testy, but that time when the ECW and WCW were joining the indies, it seemed like all roads met in the independent circuit. And it was not scary, but it was, and now actually I look back on it, it was pretty cool because it was an experience. It was educational and it was kind of chaotic. And because at this point now TNA wrestling becomes a thing in 2002, and then Ring of Honor wrestling becomes a thing in 2002, where I landed, and that's when the shift really started to change to what today is. So
interesting.
It's like when I'm in it, the 80s golden era, the 90s attitude era, new generation era in the early 90s is still a thing. But as I'm in it, and I think me and my generation changes, it became to what wrestling is now. They went from the PG era, they called it the COVID era, and now what is it now? The elite era. Everyone is online, they have all these things. Cody Rhodes, Roman Reigns, they're the new Hulk Hogan, Macho Man, right? It's like it carries on. But it's like I was part of the shift of this industry. And when I think about that, because I'll be honest with you, I look at my career and I say, man, I didn't do this and I didn't do that. And I get down on myself, and I try not to, because you can never see your own success. You can't see your own success. LeBron James can't see his own success. I can't see no one can. You can't see it. It's almost like you put your face to the picture and you go, oh, it's just a piece of tan. You pull your head back and you go, oh, it's the Mona Lisa. I can't see it because I'm in it.
You're in it.
You can't see when you're in the storm.
There's a couple of things, Sean, that I need to bring up, and one of them, is the fact that in behind the curtain, you have an Emmy.
Yeah, sign it up, boys. Yeah, 2019, ESPN's #1 video engineer won the Emmy for ESPN that year, right here. I'll take the credit.
Baby.
Nobody else is here. And this is professional wrestling, baby. I'm taking it over. I won the Emmy for the worldwide leader. That was me, pal. George knows one time.
That's right. That's right.
That
George
hair,
got
man.
his
Look
too.
at that hair.
So
look at that hair. It looks
Sean.
like Buddy Landell and Greg the Hammer Valentine had a kid.
Sean, so now you're back in it, right? I heard that, up in Poughkeepsie, where I grew up in Poughkeepsie. I left in the late 70s, sorry, like 1977, moved into New York City, and then, didn't go back, but then they built the Civic Center, and I kind of missed all that. I didn't get to go and see wrestling at in Poughkeepsie because I was watching it at the Garden in New York City.
Right.
But you got some stuff going on. What is it that you got going on now?
Oh, awesome championship wrestling, ACW. Been around a year and a half now. Everyone's flocking, and it's a slow growth. We're running bi-monthly shows. We were on Triller. We will be looking for a new home on the Roku channel. So we'll stand by for that. But we're going to be looking at bi-monthly, maybe going monthly. We're starting in Poughkeepsie. And you brought up that you were in Poughkeepsie. The Mid-Hudson Civic Center, it's called the MJN Center now, is a historic building for professional wrestling, much like the ECW arena. You hear the ECW arena, that's at the Dallas Sportatorium, the Hollywood, Florida Sportatorium, Madison Square Garden. You got to put the Mid-Hudson Civic Center in Poughkeepsie right there. The first Piper's Pit. 1 billion Raw tapings. Yeah. TNA, NXT is there. Now ACW, we're making that our home. House of Hardcore. Tommy Dreamer's House of Hardcore. But all of the WWF superstars and Raw tapings that were there. We just recently had, not in March, at our June show, we elected the Macho Man Randy Savage and Mike Bell into the MJN Center Hall of Fame. Cool. And Tony Atlas,
yes,
Paul Roma, and Mario Mancini all came to. They were kind of there to enjoy the moment. We ACW asked them to be there. They showed up, and they kind of they weren't accepting of the award, but we wanted some old school wrestlers to be there and inducting them. And this is Paul Roma and Tony Atlas, and I'm gonna go talk to them. So I pulled Paul Roma to the side. Me and him talked for a long time that night, and everything he was saying, he was like looking around like this, and I'm like, whoa. I was like, when's the last time you were here? He's like, brother, I haven't been here since the early 90s. And I'm like, what does it look like to you? Because the inside of the building has gotten a facelift. It is a beautiful, gorgeous building. The lighting is electric. That building is money. We get 22 to 2,500 people each show. It's sold out every show. July 18th, we're back. Killer Cross, Matt Riddle, most marketable Richard Holiday, Tommy Dreamer. The list goes on and on. Sent to Slaughter.
Tommy Dreamer.
Tommy Dreamer will be in the house.
And the Sandman.
The Sandman actually just retired. The Sandman, believe it or not.
Wow.
But tongue in cheek, because Terry Funk retired 743 times. Ric Flair retired 652 times. You die in this industry. You do not retire. Because you're just addicted to it. Like, I knew I was coming back. I left for a while. I left for about 5 years. I got married. I had a kid. And, I left. You have to leave wrestling because it makes you insane. But at the end of the day, you are who you are, and you have to do what you love. And there's nothing I love more than professional wrestling. And July 18th, I can't wait to be back. MJN Center, ACW is going to be back. It's going to be great. We got Dave Sturcio and Big Sally Graziano of ECW fame on commentary. We got guys coming left and right. We have the WWE. You have AEW, MLW, NWA. There's a lot of TNA, a lot of great wrestling out there. And ACW, we want to get our footprints and stand right next to them.
Wow.
Because right now we'll say, like, we have Elijah coming in. We have, we just had Andrade from AEW come in our last show here in June. And we're presenting them as seen on TV, as seen on AEW TV Andrade. Well, the day's going to come where we say as seen on ACW TV. Awesome championship. That's my name. Awesome championship wrestling. We're a year and a half in, and it's a very hungry locker room. And the thing I like most is, yes, the name value is there, but we have a base. We have a minor leagues of young wrestlers that are ready to take over. So it's not just because a lot of the independent wrestling scene is come and see the show. Oh, we're going to have how many shows I've done refereeing where Nikolai Volkov would wrestle Kamala. I'm telling you, and I, as a young referee in this industry, I was a kid at Christmas every time because there's so many guys I got to referee for. Superfly Jimmy Snuka, King Kong Bundy would make the rounds. But in ACW, we don't want to just be known as that. We want to be known as a federation that produces talent, that brings new talent in. And in the coming months, you're going to be seeing us more and more. And we were on Triller for a while. Triller had AEW Game Changer Wrestling, but we will be leaving Triller. Our TV home is TBD, but it is ASAP. It will be coming soon. So this is ACW.com. Make sure to keep that on. Follow us on X. Follow us TikTok. ACW is out there. I'm very excited and every time I would join a new federation when I was refereeing, I've refereed. I can't tell you how many independent wrestling companies I've worked for. You'd always say, oh, next month we're going to go here. We're doing this. We're doing that. And you'd believe it and you go, And then it wouldn't happen and you go, Because in wrestling, you need a lot. You need television. You need money. You need a good locker room. It takes a lot to be great. It takes a ton. It takes a village. But now, for the first time, being in ACW, I'm like, ooh, after 25 years being in this, I'm like, this smells good. I like what's in the oven right now.
Nice.
Awesome championship wrestling. Like, I love it smells good.
Sean, there's always something, there's one particular thing that stands out with any of the wrestling organizations, and that's, of course, the belt.
Oh, beautiful.
What's your belt gonna look like? What is the ACW belt? It's got to be unique. What is it? Does it look like this one? Is it like the 2 pounds of gold or not, man?
I wish I had the actual physical title here. Of course, Killer Cross is wearing it around his waist. He better be careful. July 18th, it could be gone. But because he's going to be facing Matt Riddle. But our big giant silver belt of ACW, you can see it right there. That's the ACW Women's Championship. But
nice.
I mean, give what you just brought up, and of course I'm going to say ACW is number one. Our belt is number one. But man, that old NWA Heavyweight Championship belt. Good Lord. I got to bring a story up. George is sitting back there somewhere laughing because here I come with a story. 2007, Christian of WWE fame. Christian, he went by Christian Cage. He just left the WWE and joined NWA TNA, and he won the NWA World Heavyweight Championship. And he's wrestling Jay Lethal on the show. And me and Don, ironically, Don Montoya, I keep bringing him up. The three of us are backstage, me, Don, and Christian. And Don and Christian know each other. They're friends. I'm meeting Christian for the first time. And Don just went, can you bring the belt out? Can I see it? Can I see it? Because we're all kids. Every one of us are kids. Don was a kid, and I'm so mad that I didn't whip out my phone and just take a picture with it. Because Christian went, yeah, here it is, man. He goes, here. And I just held it in my hand, and I just stared at it. And I'm like, wow, this is what it is. Because now the belts, I'll be honest with you, like, the greatest WWF World Heavyweight Championship is that beautiful Golden Eagle belt.
Yep. That's
Give
right.
me the Golden Eagle belt. Like, just, there's been so many manufactured. They add this and add this and add the gawk, and I'm like, it looks great, but give me that gold wing belt. Give me that small NWA one. And Nick Bockwinkel, God rest his soul. I got Nick Bockwinkel. He and I became friendly at the end, and sadly, he had dementia and he got sick, and it happens. There's nothing sad there. He had a great long life. But Nick Bockwinkel, when I had met him, it was a convention weekend. He had the old AWA Heavyweight Championship, and I went, "Hey, Mr. Bockwinkel, can I hold it?" And he let me take a picture with it, the whole deal. So you're never gonna stop being a kid in wrestling. But to me, the best belts are the old school belts.
Oh,
I mean,
hell
they were
yeah.
just the best.
There's no question. I have a full disclosure. I have a prop that I'm going to show you. I went to film school not too long ago. My story, the script that I was writing, it took a diversion. I was going to write which I did. I wrote out a story, and it was a wrestling story. So I went and I got a prop. And so I got myself a belt because I always wanted to have one as a perfect excuse. So it was going to be a wrestling story. Didn't turn out that way, but I got the prop. So who knows? Maybe someday, Sean, I'll be telling you that, my wrestling movie is happening. I hope so. But in the meantime, I'm still big wrestling fan. Of course, I come from, that generation, and so does the Tipsy Toaster and a lot of our fans, but we're still into it. And we're looking forward to, keeping up with what you're going to do and, where you're coming from. And now that you're coming back, but your role is, I think, a little different from what I understand. You're producing. Are you going to be a coach? Are you going to be, are you going to be in front of the camera or not?
Well, right now, that answer is no, but it's question mark, because if I'm not hiding anything, I do want to be back in the ring, but I don't know if I'm going to be back in the ring as a straight referee, a regular referee yet. Don't know. But right now, I'm really enjoying myself being a backstage producer, because working with George, we are from that side. And now I spent 12 years in the sports and entertainment side, and I've gotten to learn. I look at professional wrestling now as, it's not just two guys in tights and boots and hot baby oil. And boom, boom, boom. It's so much more. It's the music. It's the lighting. It's the timing. It's the how are we going to shoot it? Where do I need my camera here? I want to get the right angle. I want to get the right this. So I can now bring that aspect to professional wrestling. Cool. And my partner in crime, Kurt Adonis, who was a former professional wrestler himself, spent years at ESPN. He is our lead backstage producer, and he and I kind of work together. So I spend more time producing the interviews, and I get the next match ready, and I'm talking to the younger baby faces, the younger heels, because there's a lot I can teach them. There's some guys I don't have to teach. I mean, if Tommy Dreamer is wrestling on our show and go, Tommy, you know what you need to do, even though there's there's something he could learn from me. There really is. But there's nothing I don't think there might not be something I could teach him in professional wrestling that he hasn't already seen. He's got eons of years ahead of me.
Yeah, wow.
But being in this role is great. I love it. Kurt and I love it. And it's almost like I'm not one of the boys anymore. You are the one of the boys is a saying, in the locker room, all of us, because I'm now kind of office. I'm like away from them a little bit,
Right.
but it's still great. Like, it's not, I don't feel like the prisoner who got turned into the guard. You know, it's not like that. It's something I wanted to do. I love teaching young guys about wrestling.
That's cool.
George could even tell you, there's so many times I complained about like, oh, I hate wrestling. I'm never going to go back. And blah, blah, blah. But I love teaching and I love showing guys new stuff. And I love telling old stories and talking about old stories and learning about old stories. And Joe Elliott of Def Leppard, my favorite band, brought up something, and I'm going to steal that line. Actually, I should just say I came up with it myself and look smarter instead of saying I'm stealing it from somebody. So I'm going to come up with it myself. At this age, it's not, and I want to see new wrestling. I want to see what's going on in AEW. I want to see, I can't wait to see what we're producing in ACW. I want to see what's going on in all the feds today. But if you told me right now, hey, there's a show next week, blah, blah, blah. Or I have this dark match of Dusty Rhodes from 1976 in his third year. I don't know who he's wrestling. You want to see that? I'm like, yeah, I want to see that. And then that's it's gonna drive me and turn my juices up to make me want to produce better wrestling going forth. So I learned that instead of pouting about, there's this match in 2007 I didn't like. Oh, that guy screwed me, or that guy screwed me, or I could have did this. It's like, no. Remember the love. And ACW's bringing me that love back. And my old friends are in the industry are bringing me that love back. And it's allowing me to produce and just go full force into it. I can't wait to see what 2027 is going to bring, because my heart, my whole soul, I have so much good vibes about ACW. I have better vibes about ACW than I do about the Knicks. I am ready to rock and roll, baby.
That is awesome, Sean. I'm all psyched too, man. I'm ready to do it with you, man.
I'm going to rip the jacket off, brother. I'm ready to go.
Love it, man. Love it. Dude, we need to have you back. We gotta keep in touch. We wanna this is incredible. We would love to, get involved if we can, support if we can. We're here. Our fans are into wrestling. I don't think anybody that has ever liked wrestling ever gets out of wrestling. Just like you said, you come back. It's just, who's out there now? Well, guess what? It's Sean Wiggins who's now, producing, and it's ACW. That's the new hot thing. That's where it's at. That's where the action is. So I don't know, man. I think it'd be kind of cool to have you, or maybe eventually you can send us someone every once in a while and we talk it up.
I got guys for you. There's going to be a laundry list of guys behind me ready to come on here and tell you what's going on at ACW. And you shouldn't have said that now. I'm going to open the gates, and they're all coming out. I'm opening the zoo is going to be let loose, baby.
Bring them on, baby. They got a home. We can talk, it'll be fun. We have a little segment on wrestling. We'd love to do it and we'll promote. When's the next? So what is it, July 18th?
It'll be July 18th at the MJN Center. This is ACW.com. Tickets will go fast. Matt Riddle, Killer Cross. There's going to be a 10-woman battle royal.
Ooh.
Tommy Dreamer's going to be in the house wrestling.
Yes.
Josh Chernoff, manager of Sent to Slaughter. He's going to be in there. I don't know what kind of match we're going to have. And one thing about ACW, I don't want to let the cat out of the bag, but we have surprises left and right. So you show up. David Arquette has showed up. Gangrel has been there. July 18th, there's going to be surprises out the left and right out the ordeal. And a guy I want to make mention, and I sent you the footage, and I'm going to resend it to you for the next time I'm on here. Most marketable Richard Holiday, who is a 2-time ACW champion. He and I had a little run-in. He wrestled Andrade last June. And I'm going to send you the footage to show everybody next time. But he will be there as well July 18th. He wants to become the first ever 3-time ACW champion. Zach Clayton's going to wrestle Flip Gordon. These are stars that and when you go back, I'm telling you, people, when you go back, you start watching the new guys, you're going to start saying, you're going to become a fan again. Like, ACW's making me a fan again. And last July 24th, 2025, the day that'll live in infamy, when Hulk Hogan died, I cried for about a month. And I'm not even kidding about that. That's totally serious. And my friend Sally Graziano, I shouldn't call him my friend. I don't want to embarrass myself. But my coworker, Big Sal, he kept pushing me. He's like, Hanson, come back. He goes, you love this shit. Come back. It's in you. I'm like, no, come back. And he eventually got me back in. I don't want to say Hulk Hogan's death is why I came back, but Hulk Hogan's death is what made me go, that was my dad. That was my Superman. Wrestling's my life. That's my blood. Why am I walking away from it? It's me. It's who I am. It's inside of me. And be you every day. BYE. My buddy Tom Bauer said that. BYE. Be yourself every day. Because if you're not, you're a no-show. And if you're no-showing, you're hurting yourself.
That's true. Absolutely. I totally agree with you. Love having you on, Sean. I definitely want to have you back. There's way more years of, whether we talk about Don Morocco, we talk about Pedro Morales, we talk about whoever. I got plenty of other, anecdotes and stories of my own that we can exchange. I know that even believe it or not, Tipsy Taoster in Wyoming, he's got some stuff that he.
Yeah,
I was looking. I found it. I found
I want to see the Wyoming territories. Did you have any territories in Wyoming?
Yeah, no. But it was the beginning, and this was my hero.
Oh my God, Mad Dog Vachon.
Mad Dog Vachon. He
never
was the
met
one
Mad...
that actually brought that little toy dog into the ring. I can remember it to this day now. It was amazing.
I got to spend a lot of time around Luna Vachon, R.I.P. I called her Mama Luna. She took care of me. We did a couple overseas tours. I didn't get to the overseas tours, but she would talk too much about Mad Dog. But I'll say one thing about Mad Dog and the Butcher Vachon. Mad Dog was the talent of the family. I mean, I'm not to pick on Butcher Vachon, but those two, how they trained Luna. Luna Vachon was tougher than most men, and it's because of that guy on the screen right there. That legend, Mad Dog Vachon, who lost his leg in a car accident.
Yes.
And would take it off. He would show up at WWF events. Diesel versus Shawn Michaels, 1996. Good Friends, Better Enemies, in your house, pay-per-view. That guy, Mad Dog Vachon's at ringside. Diesel has Shawn Michaels down, goes outside the ring and pulls Mad Dog Vachon's leg off because it's disposable. Go back and check the footage at In Your House, Good Friends, Better Enemies, April 96. And Mad Dog had to be in his 60s at that point. So think of that. Think of him. Think of a 60-something-year-old man going, yeah, you can rip my leg off and beat me up.
Oh, wow. That's crazy.
That was my hero during the matches when I was in Wyoming. He came out there. I was like,
oh, man.
He was the bad guy, but I loved it.
Well, if that's your hero, I might have some questions for you there, Tipsy Toaster.
Sean, I'm going to leave you with this one. Texas Death Match, winner takes all, loser retires. Sergeant Slaughter against Pat Patterson at the Garden. I was there for that one.
Oh, you were there. Nice.
Yep.
Oh, that's Pat Patterson's like peak. Well, not peak. He's like at the end there.
At the end there. Yep.
He showed how great he was. And Sergeant Slaughter.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I'm so glad you brought him up because he just does not get enough due. I'll say this too. I brought up Owen Hart before and Chris Candido.
Yeah.
When I see guys say hi to Sergeant Slaughter, it's a hug. It's not a handshake. It's how loved that guy is. Yeah. I had one road trip with him. An amazing guy, a tougher guy than you'd realize. Shoot tough. It wasn't just a persona. Wow, you were in there for that. Sergeant Slaughter, Pat Slaughter being the heel.
Yeah. Oh my God, it was incredible. And then Pat Patterson went behind the scenes and worked with Vince. But yeah, I mean I remember the belts. They took their belts off and they were whipping each other, and you could see the marks on their backs, and the blood was everywhere. It was just, oh my God, what the heck? A way to go out, right? Way to end your career on a high note. So anyway, listen, Sean, thank you so much. We're out of time this show, but please come back, man. You got a good place to live.
We're playing on this now. I have a million stories I didn't even get to.
Yes,
awesome.
Yes.
I have a million pictures. I sent you some. Maybe not all of them went through. I'm gonna get them to you because I have so many. Like the floodgates have opened.
Oh, excellent, excellent. Well, Sean, here's to you. Lots of luck.
Cheers, baby.
Yo, keep doing what you're doing, man.
How about the
come
water
back
bottle?
and we're gonna have a great time. That's okay.
Well,
But here at IFB, we have a saying, right, Chris?
That's right. Because it's important that we remember that the fans fuel the fleet.
Fuel the fleet.
And the fans.
So, here's to the fans.
Right. Yep.
And
the
to
best.
you, Sean, keep in touch, man. Come back to us.
I will be back, baby.
I'll be back.
All right.
Take care.
Take care, everybody. Thank you.
My man. That was great.
Yeah,
it was great. I had so many more. I didn't even get to anything.
We're not off yet.
It's gonna be great. We're gonna keep doing it, not to worry. But thanks for tuning in, everybody. Look, we're getting close to shore leave. Make sure you get your tickets. Make sure you get down there. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks everybody that were you guys were on live. Appreciate all the comments and everyone that was on around the world. Down under, Europe, everywhere that you guys tune in from, and then of course in reruns. So a lot of you, in the thousands, watch us later. We are humbled. Thank you so much. Looking forward to next show next Thursday. Same bad station, same bad channel, and bad time.
Yep.
Chris, send off.
Thanks for joining us. We will be back here next Thursday. Don't forget to check out the IFB website and the merch site now. I mean, every little bit goes to help how much money we actually pour into this.
Keep the lights on.
We keep the lights on somehow. It would be nice if we could get some help keeping those lights on. But it's important that it's about the fans, and we love you guys. It's a family. And don't forget to check us out. Don't forget the multiple cons we got. I think Tricky Faye is going to Dragon Con. We've got multiple things going on. So keep up to date on Facebook and YouTube. And don't forget to hit that like button. That does make a difference. But until next time.
And subscribe too, guys. If you
Yep.
haven't, come on, man.
Yep. Until next time, please... stay safe, enjoy yourselves, and don't forget that the fans fuel the fleet. It's all about you. Take care,
Keep the faith,
everybody.
everyone. Take care.
Wrong button. Damn it. But there we go.
Come on.